Hey, welcome to Let's Get Cooking with me, Chef Danny. Keeping in line with the farm to table theme, I've got a friend of mine, Jack Simmons. He's got a organic farm in Sop Choppy. My buddy Jack. He comes down to Appalachia about once a week on Fridays and brings fresh vegetables and fresh baked breads and an array of things, whatever he's got. Pickled radishes and some jellies he makes up there. And we come down on Friday afternoons and see what he's got fresh, and we take him back to the restaurant and serve him for specials. What do you got today, Mr. Jack?
Oh, I've got some onions, some carrots, some baby arugula, green garlic, and a few mustard greens.
Mustard greens look great. Green garlic's awesome. But
I'd go with those carrots.
yeah, those baby carrots, I think that's what we're gonna do. And what I would probably do, and I don't know if you have any suggestions, but I'm just gonna salt, pepper, maybe a little olive oil, and roast them in the oven.
I would take these things and just coat them in olive oil and put salt and pepper on them just like you're talking, in the oven. Stick them with a sharp knife until they're as tender as you like them. And Bob's your uncle then.
Well, we're gonna do grouper cheeks.
Boy, that
Might be. I'm not sure how we're gonna fix it, but it's gonna go great with the grouper cheeks. I think the sweetness of the carrots, the sweetness of the grouper cheeks.
that sounds delicious.
Well, come over.
All right.
All right, we're back in one of my kitchens. We've gone to the fish market and got grouper cheeks, and went and saw Farmer Jack from Sop Choppy at Crescent Moon Farms and got those delicious carrots. And we're gonna cook them up. I decided to poach the grouper cheeks. It's called empapillote, which means in parchment. So I'm gonna cook the grouper cheeks in parchment paper with capers, red onions, cherry tomatoes, artichoke hearts, and black olives. And I'm gonna serve it over tricolor Israeli couscous. And we're gonna start cooking the couscous because that takes longest. So I'm gonna put about a cup and a half of the couscous in rolling boiling water, actually I'm gonna use chicken broth. It makes it a little bit tastier. Put about a half a cup or maybe a cup. And I'm gonna put just a touch of olive oil in there, and I'm gonna stir it up, and that way the olive oil coats each piece of couscous. That way when it cooks, it doesn't stick together when it's finished. If you can coat each little piece, then when you're done cooking, it won't stick together, and it's nice and flaky. And about twice as much, maybe 2 cups. And you want to bring that to a rolling boil and then simmer for about 12 minutes. It gets just soft enough. It's a pasta, it's a semolina pasta. While that's coming to a boil, I'm gonna take the carrots that we got from Farmer Jack. We've rinsed them off really good. I'm gonna salt and pepper and put a little olive oil on them. Just wanna coat them a little bit. You don't have to drown them. A little black pepper. Kosher salt. After I've coated them with salt and pepper and olive oil, I'm gonna put them in the oven for about 16 or so minutes. So about the same time the couscous is gonna be ready, and hopefully the grouper cheeks will be ready also about the same time. Timing's everything. We're gonna spray it with a little canola oil spray. We're gonna add our red onions to it, our cherry tomatoes, a couple, 3 or 4 black olives, and some artichoke hearts. I've cut those into quarters. And last, my favorite, capers. I'm gonna put a little white wine and some butter in there. but not a lot, just a little. And when you're cooking, there's your little melted butter. When you're cooking and you want to use white wine, use a decent wine. I'm just going to put a couple tablespoons in here. And again, if you're not going to drink the wine, don't cook with it. It just doesn't make sense to me. That's delicious. Now it's going to take, in my convection oven, about 12 to 14 minutes. It might take about 20, 25 minutes in your conventional oven at home. So on top of this, I'm going to put these wonderful grouper cheeks that we bought over at 13 Mile. And they're actually just the cheek of the grouper. They're very, they're actually a little bit firmer than the meat on the grouper fillets. It's more of a delicacy for us. And then very carefully, we're going to fold the parchment paper up. We want it to sort of steam in itself when we put it in the oven. Wrap it up as tight as you can, fold it under on both sides, and I always put it into put it on top of a little tiny pizza pan. That way it doesn't drip in the oven. And it should take about 12, 14 minutes in the convection oven, right next to my carrots. All right, we're gonna check and see if the carrots are done. So what I'm gonna do is just pull them out a little bit. And I'm gonna stick a toothpick in them to see if they're soft. That looks like it's good. That's about the biggest one, so I'm thinking they're done. So we'll pull them out. Let them cool for a second so I don't burn my fingers. The couscous is about ready. It's gone up boiling for about I guess 12 minutes. I've checked it, they're pretty soft. I'm just gonna drain the water off it. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there like this and stir it up so it coats all the pieces while it's draining. I'm gonna trim the greens off the carrots. They're pretty neat looking, but I'm going to go ahead and trim them off. That way there's not so much. Traditionally, in papillote means in parchment paper, I would take it out of the oven and I would serve this pouch on top of the couscous there. And at the table side, you would open it up, the steam would come, the juices would fall into the couscous, and it would be a neat presentation. And that's what we'll show you here, like that. And then, of course, you would garnish your plate with some lemon, parsley, maybe a little bit of paprika. That's how you'd serve it. And when it came to the table, your guests would open the parchment paper and all the steam would come out like it is, and the fish and all your capers and your cherry tomatoes like that. All right, here it is, the finished product. I'm going to squeeze a little lemon on top. Tricolor Israeli couscous with grouper cheeks and papillote with cherry tomatoes, red onions, capers, black olives, and those delicious baby carrots we roasted from Jack at Crescent Moon Farms. We'll have a taste of it all. Really tender. Really good. This is one of the specials we do at Tomorrow's Cafe on occasion. That's at 71 Market Street in Apalachicola. Wow, that's amazing. Well, that's a wrap. Stay tuned for new episodes of Let's Get Cooking with Chef Danny.